Hello. In honor of Shaketube 2020 being put on by Jason over at Old Blues Chapter and Verse, Steve Donoghue, Rainey Day Reads, and Lukas at Totally Pretentious, where they're going to read Shakespeare plays during the month of September, and I'll leave links down below to that. I've decided I'll do the Shakespeare Tag, which is created by Libby Stephenson. Let's just get into the questions. Question number one, what was your first exposure to Shakespeare? And I think, like most people, my first exposure to Shakespeare that I can remember was I think Macbeth in high school. I especially remember getting them playing the Polanski Macbeth as sort of trying to help liven things up in the classroom. High school Shakespeare is a tough road, yeah, for that the kind of the grimy, dirty, brutal Polanski Macbeth is sort of my memory of that. Which Shakespeare plays and poems have you read? I've read like 23 of the plays. I'm not going to list them. And I've read sort of probably around 60 of the sonnets, and I've completely fallen down on the poems, the major poems, other than, going through sonnets, which I really haven't still, with both the sonnets and the poems, I haven't really dug down deep as I think you would need to. To read a poem well takes a lot longer than to read a play. I think. Question number 3. Which have you seen either on stage or on film? So stage is the lot smaller of the bunch, and I do have real big vivid memories of seeing it on stage. When you see something live, it does really make an impression on you. I saw Midsummer Night's Dream in a bistro during like the Fringe Festival here in Victoria, which I still think remains like my favorite Shakespeare comedy, because being done in this tiny little bistro just by kind of like student actors, super exuberant, super fun, kind of naughty, just like that to me was like, wow, that really caught the spirit of Midsummer Night's Dream, maybe more than like a proper stage production would have. I saw in the same kind of fringe, one of those fringe years, I saw The Merchant of Venice, where there was like sort of the heroes were portrayed as sort of fascistic kind of Nazis, with all circling around Shylock, which was an interesting way of sort of addressing kind of the racism, the anti-Semitism of that play. I'm pretty sure I've seen a Hamlet. Don't have a vivid memory of seeing a Hamlet on stage, but I think I've seen one. Probably my big memory is in Vancouver. There's something called Bard on the Beach, where down at the kind of the harbor front there, getting to see King Lear, and it's starting, before, starting in daylight, but as the evening went on, it was like coming into the night with a kind of a sunset, and with Lear, and just like, oh, that was such a great production of King Lear. I really remember that, really enjoying myself with that. On film, I've seen a ton. Richard III with it's Ian McKellen, the Henry V with old Gilderoy Lockhart there. Macbeth, what I mentioned already. The Tempest, definitely seen a bunch of Tempests. Titus Andronicus, the Julie Taymor Titus with Anthony Hopkins, seeing that. Also seeing a filmed version of the Shakespeare's Globe doing it with Indira Varma as Tamora, and really enjoying that. Titus getting that kind of blood and guts and the revenge in there. Really enjoying that. I know that's terribly tasteless, bad me for actually enjoying that play, but yes. Number 4, do you have a favorite edition of the complete works? That would probably be this thing here, the Arden Complete Works, which is a behemoth, and it's kind of unwieldy. I picked it up in university for when I was taking Shakespeare. Probably the best experience of Shakespeare in the classroom was in a university with a professor who was a bit of a Shakespeare scholar, and I believe he spent his time. He's an American who spent his time actually doing stage productions of Shakespeare in the States, and it was just like really rich and deep. So I have a lot of warm, fond memories, and it's very kind of clear type, not like a gigantic kind of intellectual kind of apparatus, as Steve Donoghue would say. But yeah, that's my favorite complete works, which has got the poems in it, so I could actually get to work on those. What's your favorite comedy? That would be Midsummer Night's Dream, which Christopher Moore, a body comedic novelist, has this whole series of books that are sort of the he follows kind of Lear's Fool, but he's kind of going through various plays in various kind of reimagined scenarios. And his latest is Shakespeare for Squirrels, where there's a lot of Midsummer Night's Dream in there. And actually, Midsummer Night's Dream, it's kind of antic bodiness, really kind of mixes well with someone like Christopher Moore, who has that same antic nature. Favorite history would probably be King Henry V. Would be Henry V, because I know Henry is sort of supposedly kind of the shining great king in that thing, but I think there's an equally good reading that he is a manipulative bastard. Maybe he's both. I'm sure for Shakespeare he's both. He's a manipulative bastard who is just kind of twisting things to his own power needs for power, and how he uses war to get that. For tragedy, definitely King Lear. Howl! Least favorite play. I think I was looking at this because I think as someone said, it's like with Shakespeare, even his least favorite play has stuff in it that is kind of is interesting. It's because, like, some people really hate Titus Andronicus, and I actually enjoy that because I feel like it's like, oh, that's a play that shows his roots in kind of the revenge genre, which, yes, later on he deconstructs, especially like something like Hamlet, but it's like Titus is like, oh, here he is at the beginning, he's just indulging, he's doing his Michael Bay revenge play kind of thing, which is fun to see a young Shakespeare who's totally morally irresponsible and is just, is blood and guts, also with some really arresting imagery in there. He's still, the genius of Shakespeare is still there at that early age, which is me talking about another favorite play. It's the play that I don't remember. That is the play that I can't remember is the one that it is. Which play, number 9, which play would you want to direct? I don't want to direct any plays. If I reinterpret that, that's like, which plays do I love to read and to interpret? I mean, I guess that would be it's Henry V. That's that is the Winter's Tale. Winter's Tale is like, that maybe that would be the one. Okay, if I'm going to pretend it's directing, but it's actually just me reading, it's probably going to be Winter's Tale. Number 10, which lesser known play do you think deserves more attention, or which lesser known play are you most excited about? Maybe that would be Winter's Tale. I don't know if that's considered a lesser known play. I'm in the Shaketube bubble, so all these plays are world famous to me, and I know about them. I don't think it gets, I don't know how often it gets produced. I really enjoy Winter's Tale, so I think I would put that down. That was the highlight of last year's Shaketube was talking about that play. That was a lot of fun. And bonus if relevant, what is your favorite play to teach / perform? Yeah, I don't teach, I don't perform. I just natter. So yeah. Thank you, Libby, for those kind of fun questions. It's kind of getting me geared up for Shaketube. I'm gonna will have, depending on when I drop this, gonna read Seneca's Medea, which are his revenge plays are apparently a kind of a big influence on Shakespeare and his contemporaries of all this kind of this spate of revenge plays. And maybe that'll give me kind of that Seneca's revenge stuff, taking a look at that and seeing how he does it, and how someone like Shakespeare then deals with revenge in his plays, and just the general thing there. That's my goals going forward before launching into September. Where if you go follow the links down below, they will the four co-moderators of Shaketube will talk about, will give you a little intro videos about what plays they are going to be discussing in September, where you can do kind of a smorgasbord. You can just pick one or two. The very final play that they're going to do in the final week is going to be Hamlet, so they're all going to discuss that if you want to get the big group discussion, or if, take a look at the things, because there might be what your favorite play is, or the play that you have the most difficulty with might be in there, and it'd be fun to. It's really fun to have this kind of a discussion, and just an excuse to read Shakespeare if you need an excuse. I think it's a great place for me to focus. To be able to focus, it's like, okay, here's a month where I can devote to reading Shakespeare, and just all the rewards and delights you can get out of that. Whether you start reading the play for the first time, or if you're reading it for the fourth or fifth or sixth, or if you're Steve Donoghue, 200th time. So yes, so that's the Shakespeare Tag. You're all tagged, all the people out there who are interested in Shakespeare. Or interested in the questions, why not just rag on Shakespeare through the entire tag about how terrible he is? You could also do the tag in a kind of a very spiteful revenge kind of way. And that's what I have for right now as I'm melting. More videos later.